Good morning, Nigeria. Good morning, world. Thank you for joining us on the second installment of Morning Spring on Western Spring Television. For today, 7 a.m. is the time, and it is Morning Spring o'clock. This is what we do here, speaking truth to power, having deep and frank conversations, honest conversations about this nation of good people, or Nigeria, great nation. It is what we have. Femi Ojo is my name, and I welcome you to Morning Spring. Today, we are live on our YouTube channel, Western Spring Television, and of course, me, crisply clear, live on channel 190 on StarTimes DTT. It's a dawn of a new day, and the time is now. You are welcome. And Daniel, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Femi.
Yeah, good to have you here.
Great, absolutely.
Yeah,
it's a wonderful day. Yeah. It's a beautiful Tuesday morning. It's a bright, beautiful Tuesday morning, actually. Thank you for joining us once again on Morning Spring. This is Western Spring Television. Daniel Emeka is my name. It's always a pleasure to be here, and I'm also knowing that you're right there on the other side, always joining us on this program. We do not take you for granted. Just like Femi said, we bring you the best of news and information, starting with the newspaper review, and of course, we dive into those critical conversations with stakeholders, speaking truth to power. And of course, if it matters, you get to hear it from us right here. And we say it as it is. This is Western Spring Television. Welcome once again to Morning Spring.
Right, so much to really look into and talk about today. By the way, on Morning Spring, we usually look at the headlines, and we get talking headlines from major dailies every day. Thank you for staying with us. So much to look into today, especially politics in Nigeria. Who gets what, who is fielded where, and there are some persons in which in law you call them medusum interloper, actually.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because you wonder what's your business, what is happening in the other house, in the other people's camp, and you are even offering
unsolicited advice. I was just going to say that you took that from my mouth. Yeah.
Well, many persons who might want to say it, it's a game best put at mind game. Actually.
Yeah, absolutely. I was quite surprised when I saw statements from Festus Keyamo and someone like Chidi Odinkalu. These are respected legal professionals making such statements, saying that Jonathan would not be qualified to run again because he's been sworn in twice. Even as a judge,
run the risk.
Exactly, because it doesn't make any sense. And we had a program, yes, on this show where we talked about it. I had a topic, I guess you were on leave then. We analyzed it in a critical manner. If I, as a journalist, I know that Jonathan actually won that case in court, but there was a case in the Bayelsa High Court which was won by him. He won that. It was in his favor. That court ruled in his favor that he was actually eligible to run. So someone like Festus Keyamo and Chidi Odinkalu, who should know better, are now saying that he might not be eligible to run because he's been sworn in twice. It doesn't really make any logical sense.
Maybe because they are both lawyers. Maybe they are saying what...
That's what I'm saying. They should see. They know that information that case was decided at the Bayelsa High Court. Exactly. If I can have that information, they should know better. That's the point.
Exactly my point as well, to say maybe beyond that, maybe there's still a lacuna. Maybe there is still something that might be exploited by the opposition camp. But one thing many persons will agree to is the fact that there is no way that Festus Keyamo will be doing that from the best
point of concern, exactly.
Point of genuine concern to say, oh, my brother, don't do this. Because as politics is concerned, everybody in the opposing camp will be praying that the opponent makes a mistake. That's just it. So who are you? Are you saying that because you're a fellow South person, or because you are concerned for him, or because you love him, or because you don't want him to waste his money, or because you wish that PDP will feel the strong candidate to challenge your own principle? You just know, you can safely say there is something, beyond the ordinary. Why Festus? And I saw that tweet where he said, let him poke his nose a bit in other people's business because it gets back to what he's doing. And it's not just about that. There's a place of the Peter Obi as well, since he came with that proposal of a one term to whoever is willing to listen to him, especially to be the flag bearer of the, the ADC or any opposition party. Actually, many persons will say, okay, that's fine, or it stands a chance, but politicians have an issue with trust. The thing is, politicians can't be trusted themselves. So how do you expect them to trust one another? Because they feel legally Peter Obi has a shot. If actually Nigerian people will agree, if he's fielded and they vote for him the first time, if it's the wish of Nigerians, they can vote for him the second time.
Absolutely.
Because he has that right. Yeah. But then that's why the calculation is right to say, why not Goodluck Jonathan?
Exactly.
He has been president.
Well, you know that he can never run twice again.
Even the second time now is an issue, because some are raising that issue of being sworn in twice, cannot be sworn in twice, and all of those things. Unlearned men like us, as legal professionals.
I don't agree with them anyway.
Okay. Who say, is it possible that Goodluck Jonathan will test that in court even before the battle begins? Except he's cocksure that if he goes for it, he has the legal backing to go all the way. Although, another question is this. The man hasn't even spoken.
Yeah.
If actually he wants to run or not.
Yeah.
Only close persons, political allies, family members have been the one talking. So Nigerians are waiting. Or maybe is just, making his calculation as well. Because some have said categorically that the man is making consultation.
Yeah, I recall that his cousin also said that as far as legal matters are concerned, he has the best of advice.
Yeah, okay? Exactly.
That it is clear that he is absolutely eligible to run, because so far there's been no appeal against that Bayelsa High Court ruling. So there is nothing stopping him from running as far as legal matters are concerned for now. There's nothing stopping him from running. So that's not an issue for him at all. That's why he said it doesn't make any logical sense to hear it from Keyamo and Odin Kalu. When I saw it, I was quite shocked. It doesn't make any sense. They should know better. That nothing is stopping Jonathan if he chooses to run. Nothing for now, as far as law is concerned in Nigeria. Nothing is stopping him. By the way, that law was actually signed by what's his name, former President Muhammad Buhari. Okay, that was around June 18. That should be 20. If I'm not mistaken, 2018. I'm not trying to mix up the dates now. When that law was signed, that was after Jonathan, actually served his term. So the law cannot be applied retroactively. So it doesn't really apply. There are so many intricacies to it, and like his cousin said, he has sought advice. He has the best of legal advice. So nothing, absolutely nothing.
So the other guys should keep their advice.
Exactly, yeah. So it's just they're just kind of making, how do I put it now? Just trying to ridicule themselves by giving such advice. Yeah. It's not a very good legal advice.
Eminent legal practitioners there. It will be interesting get more interesting in the coming days, especially with what we are saying. We'll look into this in the course of the program wholly, but right now the papers are in, and let's have it. All right, we kickstart the headline segment today from the Punch newspaper. Punch and 8, terrorism trial. Federal government may seek a pass repatriation after Finland's 6-year jail term. And riders to that say government will take further action after judgment review. That's from the AJF, and ruling warning to extremists. Information Minister ruling warning to extremists. Information Minister Nizari, the man, the Finnish Nigerian or Nigerian Finnish, interesting. That's it.
Simon Epa.
Simon Epa.
That guy we sit in Finland.
Somebody from Finland is a Finnish, right? But right now, that guy is a Finnish Nigerian.
Finnish, exactly.
You understand
Finnish.
In Nigerian that is finished somehow in a kind of way, and he has been jailed in Finland.
Yeah, that was quite impressive because I've been following that story for a long time. Before now, the Finnish government, they were like, no, it's none of their business. He hasn't, flouted any of their laws. You will sit there in Finland, release statements, inciting statements and all that.
Very inciting.
Yeah, but now I guess the Nigerian government must have pressed the Finnish government as well, I mean, to look closely into his activities, and now he's been jailed for 6 years.
I think he has done some things contrary to their own laws as well, not just on behalf of Nigerians. If it's on behalf of Nigerians, I'm not sure he will get a 6 years.
Yeah, because for so long they didn't touch him, they just left him alone.
I think he has done something contrary to their laws, and that's why they've done that. And Nigeria government will be saying, there is this viral video of Wiki where it was saying, give it to me, give it to me. And that's now, I'm sure that's how Nigerian government will be screaming to Finnish government right now. Let's have it.
Exactly.
Once it's done with his 6 years, let's have him. Because the information minister said this is a ruling. I mean, the ruling is a warning to extremists as well. While you have your right, one thing that Nigerians should know is that there are rights and there are responsibilities.
Absolutely.
You don't have your rights without having your responsibilities, and no right in the world is absolute. None.
Yeah.
Except you are within the right of the law. You have a right to live. You have the right that nobody should touch you or take your life. That is if you are within the law. If you take arm against another person, that right will not be a right again. Yeah, because the other person has a chance and has a right to defend himself as well. So no right is absolute.
Yeah, I'm actually smiling because of the case of IPOB leader Nnamdi Kanu. In his own case, he was very furious because he found himself in Nigeria. How he got to Nigeria is questionable. He was kidnapped. So in his own case, he was doing his thing.
But some said he was kidnapped.
He was kidnapped. Kenya, exactly. He just found himself in Nigeria.
And he has been there, in the court perpetually.
Exactly. So that case,
the charges against him has been reviewed many times. So the Nigerian government actually put a fast one on him there by just a KGBCI move. All right. Below that, you have the picture of Mr. President Bola Tinubu, Vice President Kashim Shettima, and other cabinet members during a reception for Vice President Francia Marquez of Colombia at the Aso Villa, Abuja, on Monday, say the gentlemen and ladies there. Now, away from that, strike threat. Resident doctors give federal government 10-day ultimatum. Many associations are breathing down the neck of the federal government.
Resident doctors
that's why it's the government.
Yeah.
In as much, they're not just there to get 160 million worth of cars and executive houses and mansions and travel the world and have retinue of eight. You have a work to do as well. And part of it is these issues. Now, 60-year-old man arrested for raping Lagos lady. 60 arrested for raping Lagos lady. Sounds unbelievable, right?
60. It must be on something. It must be high on something. 60.
That's if it's true.
Exactly. That's what it's true. Yeah.
Now, and that's why it should be investigated properly. Rape has no place in our society. But then sometimes when these things happen as well, we've seen maybe 1 out of every 3 or 1 out of every 4 that are allegations of rape.
False allegations.
And you can't. One thing that you wouldn't wish is for somebody not to like your face and just slam a rape allegation on you, especially on the social media space.
Absolutely.
Nobody hears you. You are done. You are gone. If you're
especially
not
if you're a public figure.
I'm telling you,
a religious leader or something, just holding
even a private citizen, they will drag the hell out of you. And you can't say because of that, people should not speak up. People should speak up if actually they are sure.
And they'll first judge you before investigating.
That is the issue. That was a case. There's been a case or two of young men who have committed suicide because they can't face it. And later it was found that this is not true, even in Nigeria. And my thing is, rape case is horrible. It should be treated, meted with the strongest of our laws. Actually, whatever being the case. But a case of forced rape as well should be treated with equal measure. Equal measure. In as much you found out that it's just because of one thing that is not true. But then as for rape, stands condemned.
Absolutely. And you know what? I've always had this idea, as far as rape is concerned, anyone who is actually convicted and found guilty of actually raping, it's very simple for me. Let's just castrate the person. Just castrate the person.
Well, somebody will say
take away his weapon.
That should be one of the punishments.
Exactly.
Because for many persons, it's deeper than that, especially on the offended, on the person that have been violated. Some, the trauma is there for life. Some have resentment. It is a position nobody wants to be. Actually, you don't want to be the brother of that person. You don't want to be the suitor, the spouse of that person, because it takes a lot from you. You don't even want to talk about the person that have been violated. So rape stands condemned. Nobody should abhor it as well. Nobody should do it.
And quite unfortunately,
I'm not propagating it, but there are measures if you need what is called happy ending. It's almost everywhere, everywhere. With your money, there are willing people. That's not what I'm saying. But then why should? Why should? Exactly. That's my
It doesn't make any sense.
Except somebody is high, and if you are high on drugs, then you have your portion where you're supposed to have your
I'm more worrisome.
That's not an excuse.
I'm more worrisome is the case of young girls. A lot of them, unfortunately, have been raped. I mean, they don't speak up.
And that's the issue here.
At some point,
and that's why I made that point.
They don't speak up. The younger ones, because of fear of victimization, stigmatization, they don't speak up. I got to learn this when I was mentoring some young people, teaching them, just school leavers who were writing JAM. And quite a lot, I was shocked. Quite a lot of them, during counseling, they opened up. I've been raped. Not even harassed, raped. And they never spoke of some of them by family members, uncles.
Some of the times, you know, these things is easier or comes around or gets done or encouraged or perpetrated by close persons, because it's only people that you trust most of the time that you move close to. And some of them move mad. Stands condemned. Speak up if you can, but make sure it's not false. That's just the thing. Now, here, now for a 60-year-old man, I saw your reaction, because one would think, 60-year-old man,
what was he looking for?
What's wrong with you? That should be a grandfather. There. Now, Oyetola blames wooden boats as accident, claim 92 lives.
Jeez, 90. No, that report, I mean, I hope there's no mistake, because the figure is quite outrageous.
Oyetola blames wooden boats as accidents.
92?
Yeah, not just single. Accidents.
Okay.
Claim 92 lives, sadly. So what are we doing about it? Because we won't keep blaming before I die.
What measures are being taken?
Putting in place. $600 million monthly diaspora remittances. Proof of reforms. Federal government and Dangote fuel export surge amid foreign refineries shut down. That's good news for the man. And 2027 PDP obedient tackle Wike over Jonathan and Obi. PDP and obedience tackle Wike over Jonathan Obi. Oh, it's coming together now. Now here, Nigerian embassies hit by unpaid rent and salary arrears.
See, we talked about it. Yeah, I said it here the other day.
I think that's a public knowledge that many of the state of embassies are in dilapidated conditions. And so if that is the case, what kind of work will be done there? Unpaid rent, salary arrears. And you would think people working there should still be loyal. What exactly is the problem? Is it that the Foreign Affairs Ministry doesn't have a proper budget? Or what is, or they don't know the numbers of embassies that they have around the world? I don't understand.
It's just, the thing. Let's say it as it is. It's just negligence, pure negligence. There's no better way to say it. No better way.
So what becomes the
there's no excuse.
Nigerians in those countries?
It shows you that we are not represented. If anything happens to you, you are on your own. It's very clear. You are on your own. That's why Nigerians will be treated anyhow, because they know even your government don't care about you.
Then your government is not on ground. That's what it means. So we can do to you whatever we think we can do to you. And that's a situation nobody wants to be in. That would be all. From the Punch, on the last ones on the front page of the Punch, saying Nigerian embassies hit by unpaid rent, salary arrears. Should we now be doing GoFundMe? To operate, activate Nigerian embassies? We're supposed to be the giant of Africa. Absolutely. And that's the same country that is telling the global community that we should be put on the permanent seat of the United Nations Security Council.
They play. All right. From the front page of the Punch newspaper this morning, we move to the front page of the Daily Times newspaper. Don't you love Nigeria?
I do.
I do.
Some of the people at the ends of affairs, they are not doing well.
Absolutely.
That's the thing.
Yeah. On the Daily Times this morning, Nigeria threatens reciprocity as U.S. cancels valid visas. Nigeria.
Reciprocity?
Yeah.
Aura for aura. Blood for blood.
So let's just wait to see what Nigeria will do. I mean, the Americans in Nigeria, perhaps we should just, cancel their valid visas as well and say, hey, just go back to your country. When you deal with someone, a leader,
I'm sure you are thinking loud.
Yes, I'm just thinking that exactly.
But that's too loud.
No, what is good for the goose is good for the gander.
Okay.
So Nigeria threatens reciprocity as U.S. cancels valid visas. But this is quite worrisome. These are valid visas we're talking about. We're not even talking about denials here. Valid visas being cancelled. Come on, U.S. What's happening? What is happening? Well, we are trying to, make our country better. Nigerians are trying to improve the United States, for God's sake. You need us. Yes, I know you're watching this. You need us to improve your country. So Come on. We are just making sacrifices to come to the US and you're taking us for granted? Come on, that's not fair. That's not fair. That's not fair. Away from that, still on the front page of the Daily Times newspaper, someone is smiling here, but I'm serious. I'm not joking. I'm serious. We are making sacrifices to make the US better.
In Nigerian movies, right? When you are arrested or an arrest is being made, they will read something to you to say, please, you have a right to remain silent, or whatever you say or do may be used against you in the court of law. I can't add to that.
No problem. No problem. We are ready for them. Yeah. They will need us, don't worry. Away from that, so the front page of Daily Times newspaper this morning. Terrorism. FG may apply for Simon Ekpa's extradition. Terrorism. Federal government may apply for Simon Ekpa's extradition. We are looking at the front page of the Daily Times newspaper. Away from that, 44 million Nigerians enroll into National Health Insurance Scheme. 44 million Nigerians enroll into National Health Insurance Scheme. You can read up that story on page 13 of the Daily Times newspaper. On the bottom strip, NSA, Kaduna government knock El-Rufai, say he left state in ruins. National Security Advisor, Kaduna government knock El-Rufai, say he left state in ruins. You find that story on page 2. There's been some back and forth between the NSA and El-Rufai concerning payment of ransom to bandits, and now they are going for El-Rufai, saying, come on, you destroyed the state. What are you talking about? Keep quiet. You might want to read up that story. Away from that, 2027 presidency. Bringing Obi back to PDP will destroy party. That's coming from Wike. 2027 presidency. Bringing Obi back to PDP will destroy party. You can read up that story on page 4. Diaspora remittance surged to $600 million monthly, fueled by CBN reforms. Dabiri Arewa. Diaspora remittance surged to $600 million monthly, fueled by CBN reforms. That's coming from Dabiri Arewa. You can read about that story on page 4. And beside that, Indonesia approves $1.3 million scholarship for Malka to train 96. You can read about that story on page 5. And on the bottom strip, global demand lifts Nigeria's non-oil exports to $3.23 billion. Global demands lifts Nigeria's exports, non-oil exports rather, to $3.23 billion. Quite impressive. That'll be all from the front page of the Daily Times newspaper this morning.
All right, from the Daily Times, we'll move to the Daily Trust. From one daily to another daily. Terrorism, Ekpa jailed. Kanu's case drags. Daily Trust, Ekpa jailed. Kanu's case drags. So much for those persons. All right, and below that, you see some sayings there that you would think possibly is the cover of a war movie. Actually, with what you are seeing, you're looking at it, but you see these not Sylvester Stallone, neither is it Jason Statham or Bolanle Ninano.
Action man.
Yeah. So, but then the pictures of suspected gun runners intercepted with arms and ammunition by police operatives in Katsina State yesterday. Suspected gun runners intercepted with arms and ammunition by police operatives in Katsina State yesterday.
The one on the left looks more like a teenager to me, quite young.
My, oh my. Can you see what the man is holding? That's a machine gun.
Exactly, this is a machine gun. Yeah.
Just that's a machine gun that can fire as many times as possible once the bullets are there. And the other insert has bullets, you know. And you know, this is not used on the bandstand at an Owambe party. It's not used as at a tailoring place.
You know, this one is used for a different kind of music.
This is used to snuff life
exactly
out of people getting into the wrong hands. And to what end? That is the question. To what end? And you can see the size of the bullets there. You know, well, kudos to those who have intercepted these, and we just hope it doesn't just stop at the interception stage. Get to the root of the matter. Who are they? Because sometimes you look at these, like these two, do they look like somebody heralding this kind of business? Because that's why they are called a gun runner. Exactly. And most of the time, gun running, it comes from cartel, actually. So these might just be the boys.
Yeah, just the boys, just the foot soldiers. Yeah, it goes way up. Yeah.
So, and that until we can get to the root cause is as simple as possible, as ABC, until you get to those who are the ones
who are sponsoring them. Yeah.
And we hope it will stop there, and that these should be taken up. At least we want to say, thank God that this hasn't got into the, and we hope it has not been seized, and this will still find his way out again, or this person should be dropped because somebody will make a call to somebody. We hope it doesn't stop there. Now, suspected gun runners nabbed in Katsina. How many of them do we have? That'll be all from the Daily Trust.
From the Daily Trust, we move to the front page of the Vanguard newspaper this morning. On the Vanguard newspaper, Jonathan to Keyamo Odinkalu, keep off my political journey. Jonathan to Keyamo Odinkalu, keep off my political journey. With some writers below it, says, keep off my political journey. I don't need your counsel. Jonathan, 100% qualified for raise, says Azibola, ex-president's cousin. And beside that, we have another one. He's been deceived. Fielding Obi will spell doom for PDP. That's coming from Wiki. Adds, I won't run for president. That's Wiki, the FCT minister. Notes El-Rufai's calculation about Tinubu wrong. Okay? Nigerians, not APC or PDP, will decide 2027. That's coming from Atiku. Nigerians, not APC or PDP, will decide 2027. Interesting. And below that, you see Colombia's VP meeting with Mr. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu right there. I think she came on a visit to Nigeria. You can see the picture right there with Mr. President. Away from that, Nigerians in South Africa mobilize for Super Eagles against Bafana. You can check out that story on page 31.
There. Make or my match. Yeah.
Well, quite interesting. We just wish them the best, best of luck in that. Moving to the top strip. Terrorism. FG, CDS, others hail Ekpa's conviction in Finland. Federal government, CDS, others hail Ekpa's conviction in Finland. We'll take further action against Ekpa. That's coming from AGF, that's the Attorney General of the Federation. And below that, our courts should expedite hearing of terrorism cases, coming from NBA, that's the Nigerian Bar Association. Away from that, empowerment of bandits. FG tackles El-Rufai, says claim baseless. We talked about that earlier on. The federal government, tackling El-Rufai, saying his claims are baseless, talking about payment of ransom to bandits in Nigeria. But it's not really about who the message is coming from. Is it true or not? That's the question. Is it true? Are we paying bandits? Yes or no? I think that's what we should look at before we just start attacking the person of whoever said it. It doesn't really have to be a saint, but if the message is true, we should be concerned. You can read of that story on page 14 of the Vanguard newspaper. Away from that, I'm moving towards the bottom strip now. Power-hungry politicians seeking to remove Tinubu. Power-hungry politicians seeking to remove Tinubu. That's coming from presidency. You can call them whatever name you like. Some people got the power by being hungry too and grabbing it by all means. So it's when you point a finger, you just don't forget you have at least 3 fingers pointing back at you. Away from that, childhood cancer, 400,000 children diagnosed annually. Childhood cancer, 400,000 children diagnosed annually. That is worrisome. Cancer in childhood. May God have mercy. That's coming from the World Health Organization. You can read of that story on page 9 of the Vanguard this morning. Rivers LG poll, Obi, Labour Party condemn election with a rider. Go to court. RCEC tells aggrieved parties. Go to court. RCEC tells aggrieved parties. You can read of that story on page 12. That's what they always say. Go to court. Botched agreements. Resident doctors threaten nationwide strike. Resident doctors threaten nationwide strike. Quite unfortunate. We might be having another strike on our hands. And that'll be all from the front page of the Vanguard newspaper this morning. And also that brings us to a conclusion of the newspaper segment this morning. Please stay with us. When we return, we'll dive into the critical matters of the day.